work so you can play. MiniWarGaming's The Fate of Fayoom.
Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and it's time for another story time for the Tyranid Necron campaign, the Battle for Fayoum. Now, once again, there are spoilers in this, so if you haven't watched the previous story times and missions, then I will give stuff away. So you've been warned. You can go ahead and close this and go watch them now, or you can just keep watching. Either way, doesn't matter. So this one, basically what we saw happen in the last mission was the Tyranids decided to do a full frontal assault at a Tomb World entrance. And they were successful, but not very successful. The Hive Tyrant and the Tyranid Prime were felled, and so the invasion into the Tomb World was slowed down. But the way has been made open for them to do it anyways. So we gotta wait for the Hive Tyrant and the Tyranid Prime to fully rebirthed in the Tyranid Hive ships in order for them to be able to come back and continue leading that assault. In the meantime, Overlord Sobek fled the battle as his forces were getting picked apart bit by bit, even though he was actually starting to get the upper hand. He just couldn't handle the stress of it and decided to run away. And he ran away from that battlefield and he returned into his tomb world to find the Overlord Kanum wandering the passageways of the tomb world, muttering to himself and semi-insane, if not fully insane, like if an Overlord can be actually sane to begin with. Upon taking him back into his reanimation chamber areas where he assembles his full royal court to debrief Overlord Kanum and what happened, because he knew he sent them to the missions up against the Hive Fleet. Overlord Kanum starts muttering things about entering ships and Tyranids everywhere, and they actually going into the belly of the beast and throwing an arrow and destroying some brain-like thing and capturing some sort of organism. Then he's clutching something in his hand as he's saying this, and he keeps looking at it. Seems to be a little bit of pride in his eyes over the thing that he's holding. And he's just muttering all these different things, and Overlord Sobek has no idea what's going on, but he's just trying to figure out what that is. In the meantime, though, there is a danger that approaches. You see, the Hive Fleet is growing tired of Overlord Sobek. And having completely started their invasion of the planet several weeks ago, they discover the sentience of the Broodlord who was slain by the Overlord. And they discover that it actually has knowledge about the Tomb World's inner workings because it had been there before. On top of that, it felt this huge resentment that the Broodlord had for Overlord Sobek. See, Gene Stealers and Broodlords can have more of those feelings towards others because they're used to not being part of the Hive Fleet as a whole. The Hive Fleet doesn't care that he has a resentment, but they do care that the Broodlord has vital information. And so they actually rebirth the Broodlord and decide to use it to go on an assassination mission against Overlord Sobek. But there's one other organism that they find would be useful to rebirth as well, and that is a Deathleaper from the very first ambush mission. Because a Deathleaper, of course, is a master of infiltration and assassination. So they rebirth these two organisms and they task them to take a force of Gene Stealers and Lictors into the Tomb World catacombs and infiltrate their way through, past all the guards, and into Overlord Sobek's reanimation chambers, where Overlord Sobek has no idea what is about to happen. So the mission that you're about to see is going to be the result of this attack of the Broodlord and the Deathleaper against Overlord Sobek and his royal court in the reanimation chambers. So very serious consequences if the Necrons fail this mission, or if the Tyranids win it. Either way, lots of serious consequences. And of course, this one is going to be in the vault. So if you want to click the link below and you're a vault member, you can go and watch it right now. If you're not a vault member, of course, you can click it. Get the 7-day free trial and try it out so you can see all this and all the previous ones from this campaign and all sorts of other battle reports. I think you've heard this a lot of times if you're watching this point of the campaign. It helps support us and lets us make more campaigns like this, because we do plan on making more just like this. So go ahead and click the link below, and happy wargaming. And these guys are going to run 5 inches. Oh, and they leap forward. And that is the end of turn 1. So the Necrons are fully aware that the Gene Stealers and Lictor have arrived, and Overlord Sobek starts to shout out, "Guards! To my side, guards!" And he shouts for the Lich Guard, who are not too far away. And Kanum seems to have something formulated in his head. Kanum moves over